there's nothing else for us to do. They don't, like around here there's nothing else that's for our age group, and unless it costs a lot of money for us to do, and we don't have that with teenagers.
You can't even fit in most of the stuff because it's just too small and it's not made for us. Even though you might want to have a go on it, it's just not made for us, so we can't exactly fit in it.
If you've just got somewhere where you can sit and you won't be shooed away and you won't be like bum hurting because of gravel on the floor and stuff like that, then freezing, yeah, it's just a really good chill out place. I think girls, they get quite excited because traditionally there's not really been much for them, especially at this age group. I think boys have been a bit luckier because they've had BMX tracks and skate ramps, football pitches and ball courts. But so I think sort of the screams and the whoops of the girls, they're trying these things and having these sensations pretty much for the very first time. Just in terms of trying to get children to exercise, I mean, currently the recommendation is that they have 5 hours a week. Only 2 of those hours are covered in school curriculum. So what we're saying is put a MUSA facility in, and the kids will play on it for an hour 3 times a week, no problem whatsoever. There's your 3 hours. But they would only do that if they were having fun at the same time. It's like everything else, it's much easier to stick to something if you enjoy doing it. I like the treadmill one because they're like the roller things just roll all the roller things roll all the time, and you like run and you can't stand still. I mean, me and Hayley went on like doubled up. It's like she was running on one bit and I was trying to keep still on that bit, so I went flying, but it's really cool.
I think it's even more important for to try and include girls in some sort of activity that's going to be a benefit for them, for their health and enjoyment as well, really. It's got to be enjoyable. It can't be forced. I mean, if you don't want to do it and you're not going to be sort of enjoying it, you're not going to actually involve yourself or any sort of lifelong sort of experience of being fit for life. It's got to be something that's natural to you. You enjoy it. It's got to involve friends. So the social bit is just as important as the activity, I think.
Like our age, we're going through that phase where we want to keep fit and go to the gym. So I think it's for our age group.
There's a football field right there, so while lads were playing football, girls could just do this, and it gives us something to do instead of just sat there watching football.
What we've got to do is get something that's much more of a sort of social mix and a physical activity mix, which makes it just much more fun and engaging for them when they come outside.
It's just better, and there's a lot more to do, and it's easier because it's cheaper than like a gym and it's free. And like while other people are doing football or whatever, you can just come and relax on these.
The designers wanted to think of a way to engage teenagers, to get away from the the traditional climbing frames, swing slides. And so they looked around and looked at what excites young people these days, and they looked to extreme sports such as kite surfing, windsailing, paragliding, rock climbing, and looked at how we could design and build equipment that would simulate those sensations.
You need to get the gist of it, but if you don't get it first time, it's interesting, so you can keep on doing it. This stuff was Ossett. I would use it a lot because it's interesting, it's fun, it's addictive, and it's just it's just a good day out and a laugh. So.
In most cases now in new builds, there is an element, or quite an extensive element of public consultation, and there really is a big move in terms of engaging young children in the selection and the design of their areas. So it's absolutely imperative that that takes place, and I think that does contribute to an overall sense of ownership, taking responsibility for it and looking after it generally.
You get a workout without realising, really.
Challenge.
Yeah, and you just don't realise it.
It's an ideal place to be here. I'd love a park like this.
Like we've had a really good time today, and this is like the favourite park I've ever been to, really. So I think if they put this in somewhere like Ossett, then people would just go there more.